Selling on Instagram is dead in 2026, and it's been dead for quite a while, but most of you just haven't realized it yet. But you're fighting this unspoken rule. What I'm trying to tell you is today is the give to ask ratio, first of all, you should go with, but also a secret of how you should sell. It protects your viewership. It actually allows for better engagement. People trust you a lot more. People respect you a lot more. They enjoy following your content a lot more. You're not shouting out on top of the world saying, buy my free arm day or buy my coaching services. You're not doing that. So the last thing you want to do is throw up ads. It's not like it was 5-10 years ago. It's a completely different kettle of fish now. Alright guys, this isn't just a clickbaity title. Selling on Instagram is dead in 2026, and it's been dead for quite a while, but most of you just haven't realized it yet. Now, I've grown a coaching business to over 250 plus active clients with a full team and a sales system, and we've also built a physical gym, so a literal business owner in the physical world, not just online. Now, the reason I tell you that is just my experience over the last 10 years and what I've seen change on social media. And I've used social media to sell and make a lot of money online. But the one thing I can tell you about Instagram and social media in general with the short form content and the way things are changing is you should not be selling directly on the platform, okay? First of all, I'm going to give you a little bit of a lesson about the give to ask ratio, and this is going to apply to your business. So if you run a service-based business online and you want to make more money, this is going to be worth listening to in a short, quick video. TV advertising, right? Before all the other platforms came along, TV after radio was, after radio initially came out, TV was then the mainstream of how people got their information and where their attention went. If you think about the attention economy we live in today, everyone was glued to the TV, okay? They spent, the massive, biggest companies in the world spent millions and millions and millions of dollars figuring out and doing their research on what was the most amount of advertising they could get away with for the amount of value they were given, okay? So the give to ask ratio, this is what I call it, okay? And this is something I want you to learn, okay? So the give to ask ratio, and what was it with TV, okay? They would give 3 to 1. So for every 45 minutes, and actually it did get worse towards the end, but for every 45 minutes of value that they would give you in a program, they would give you 15 minutes of advertising. Okay, so that's what they worked out was the most optimal that they could go. If they pushed it a little bit too high, they would actually have viewership drop off, and that's how they would measure it. And satisfaction of people watching the program would get a little bit frustrating as well. So that was what they tested. Now, the problem with today is you are not in control of your advertising on social media, because it's not just about the content and the reels and everything you put up. It's actually about everything they see in between every single scroll the person's is going through on that app. So every single couple of scrollers now, they are still going with this give to ask ratio. I think it's literally every 2 posts or every 3 posts that you will see one ad pop up. So they're still running with this give to ask ratio. So not only are you trying to squeeze in an extra ask whenever you promote something online, but you're fighting this unspoken rule that has literally been, millions of pounds, millions of dollars over the years of research has been spent figuring out how much they can push up this ask amount before people get annoyed. And you're trying to do that as a small little person that you are, compared to these massive big corporations, these big companies, all the value they can put out. You're trying to fight against this unspoken rule. So what I'm trying to tell you is today is the give to ask ratio, first of all, you should go with, but also a secret of how you should sell and how you can sell in private instead of public. So first of all, the rule I would actually go with, and what we go with, is for every 10 pieces of content we post, only 1 will be a promotion of some type. Now, let me give you the secrets after this, but first of all, let me explain that. So let's say your usual content. People on these platforms today, when they're consuming short form content, they want to break usually from life. They don't want to be overly educated. They don't want to be sold to. They definitely don't want to be sold to. They just want to be entertained a little bit more than they want to be educated. Even the people that are massively into education, they're also getting a little bit fed up of being told what to do all the time. And people are naturally just moving away or shying away and scrolling off that content. So unless you have something totally new and unique, then it's going to be something they've probably seen before. So you need to make sure whatever value you're usually putting up, you're literally just counting it every 10 posts. Only then should I run some type of a harder ask. And this harder ask can be something that still needs to be given value, but it can be something that's more of a promotion. So whether you're promoting an event, promoting your services, whatever it is, you can run that at that ratio, and that's fine. But let me tell you a secret of how you can do this so subtle that you literally can just get rid of the ask completely. And what does this do? It protects your viewership. It actually allows for better engagement. People trust you a lot more. People respect you a lot more. They enjoy following your content a lot more. This is literally a win-win scenario because it allows you to actually improve your followers, improve your accounts, while still obviously making money. Okay? So how do you do this? And it's all to do with the funnel you have in the background. So the funnel you actually need is you've basically got your organic content. So organic, let's just say Insta for now, right? And you're putting out the reels, you're getting the views, you're getting the eyeballs on. So this is basically just for the traffic, okay? And then you're filtering them down through a CTA. So you've got a CTA that's basically going to call for a lead magnet or a DM response. So anything that's going to allow them to engage with you and take action on what they've just watched. So let's say they've watched a video that is talking all about the best way to train arms and get the biggest biceps. Then you just say, if you want a checklist for how to set up your session, or if you want to try my free arm day, just comment the word arms below and I'll send that over to you. So now they've engaged with you for free, and it's not a massive promotion, it's not a massive advertisement, it's just a very subtle ask for something they already want because they've engaged with all that video. So then they do that, and then they're brought into your ecosystem. Now they're in private, they're not public anymore. You're not shouting out on top of the world saying, buy my free arm day or buy my coaching services. You're not doing that. What you're saying is they've enjoyed a video of value, they've got to the end, so now you CTA something they might want help with a little bit more on that same topic. Very important that it's the same topic. So then as they go down, they come into your ecosystem. So this is what I would call my CRM. So I would get them then to either go to a link that I would send them personally in the DMs, and they would then get into my CRM because they would fill in a form. They would get the value straight away. So they're happy, they're satisfied, they've got what they wanted, but now I've got their details. So even though I didn't charge anything, I charged their information. So I've got their phone number, their email, right? Then they go into my nurturing campaigns, emails, SMS, and then all of a sudden, over time, they're going to be exposed to a lot more of my content. I'm going to nurture them a lot more with my face from longer form content, YouTube videos, and then over time, if they are the right people, they will eventually come and work with me because they fully trust me. They know what I want. They know what they want, and yeah, it just works out. So I know I've overly simplified that part of the process, but that's the secret to how you still use short form content, social media, Instagram to actually sell, but to sell in private and not in public, and use the give to ask ratio to your advantage because you're competing on a platform that's already bombarding people with ads. So the last thing you want to do is throw up ads. It's not like it was 5-10 years ago. It's a completely different kettle of fish now. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. You sell in private, so that's where you actually start to do the selling, and that's where you can make a lot of money, and you're not going to frustrate anyone online. And you know the best part about it is, a lot of your followers, they don't even need to know that you sell these services. You can have services for people that people don't even know exist because you're just picking off the right people and offering them the right thing and making sure you obviously deliver a good service. But I hope that makes sense. If you are growing a service business online, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm going to give away a lot more content like this. And yeah, hopefully we can all grow together. So thank you, and I'll see you soon.